Hello there! So, I love art kits and art supplies, and I have tried many over the years on my channel from both professional art stores as well as Etsy from handmade sellers. I've been trying products and art kits from Etsy on and off over the last 3 or so years, so I am always on the lookout for a new product that I can try on my channel. If you have an Etsy store, feel free to leave a comment in the description down below, because one day I would love to try some of your products as well for a video. The other day, whilst on Etsy, I found possibly the most expensive art supply that I have ever seen on Etsy. A $600 watercolor set. And as a non-watercolor artist, I was like, no. I can't justify the price, I just can't. At the time, it was about half off, so it was around $360. But I was just like,
I can't justify it. I can't do it.
And a few weeks went by and I kept getting notifications of sales, and Etsy just constantly promoted this product to me every time I went on there, or every time I checked my emails. It's always like, oh, you're checking this out. Check it out again. So I got it. I'm supporting a small business. I'm trying a new art supply, and so many of you really like to discover new art products as well. So I'm gonna see if it's worth the price. On first approach, I discovered that this was making a lot of rattling noise. Luckily, it just so happened that she actually just put in some free samples. She has a little letter in here with a wax seal, which is really nice. Okay, so we have a little instruction kind of piece of paper here that tells you about the watercolor set. So it says, I used only 3 main pigments, red, yellow, blue, and black-white pigments in the production of normal colors. None of the colors were made with off-the-shelf pigments. The construction phase took 1 year, and during this time I was able to prepare only 15 half-pan sets and 15 quarter-pan sets. I think it's also worth a mention that I actually bought the mini version of this. So basically I have 300 pieces inside this pan set. However, there is also one that is sold with full-size watercolors inside, and that one actually retails for over $1,000, and I didn't even notice that one until after I bought it. In short, this set is truly a completely handmade product. So when she said like last watercolor sets, I'm guessing what she meant by that was it was the set she made over the span of a year, and these were the last ones of that series. So this is the set that's been laser engraved. Zara Art Studio drawing, painting, sculpture, and then inside we have a little drawer. This is stunning though. The fact that it comes in something like this, doing that annoying thing that everyone does on shorts now. Oh, here's a piece of styrofoam. I actually opened the set and then I realized they're all individually wrapped. We have to unwrap them all. No. That's gonna take forever. I will admit, I was a little nervous because it looked like a painful task. I kind of want to eat them. I'm scared. There's so many in here. Looks like chocolate. Like if someone just put that out and they'd be like, oh, here's chocolate. I'd be like, okay, that's good. This is like the amount of time this must have taken her. Each one is not only individually wrapped, they all have numbers on them, so you can put them in order, and that's what the paper tells you. It tells you what numbers in the sets equate to what. I'm excited. I'm gonna open up our box of chocolates. You know what Forrest Gump said about that? Watercolor's like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. So we're just basically going to unwrap these and put them in. Maybe I should just start by just getting them out. She's actually also numbered each one on the side, which is really good as well. If you take the wrapper off and you wanted to know what number it was, you can actually just check on the side. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be in any order, but I'm pretty much just gonna put it in the order that I want it in, because it's not exactly like gonna be the most awful thing in the world if I just decide to, you know, mix them up a little bit. This is weirdly therapeutic. It's like having 300 little presents wrapped for me. So I didn't quite realise how long this would actually take me. I did record a huge portion of it, but I've just chopped a lot of it out of this video because I figured you probably wouldn't want to watch a video of me unwrapping 300 of these. In the end, the recording was close to 2 hours. Now each number corresponds to a different type of watercolour, so you have to unwrap it, look at the number and figure out which one it is, then place it in. Now this does sound like a very painful task, and at times it was a bit like, oh, I have so many to go, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it was actually weirdly therapeutic, and it was actually very nice too to be able to completely customize my set. Okay, so I think I'm done unwrapping most of the colours from 1 to 170, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to best kind of arrange it. I don't really have any form of method to this, so I'm just gonna kind of go with how I feel that I would like it set up. I'm also not sure if I'm supposed to really like glue these down into here, but I'm definitely not gonna do that right now. I also understand completely why she does this, because it would be very hard for her to ship these and then shipping to not completely like mess them up. Plus, you're able to have a fully customizable palette. And I was pretty like over the top about where I wanted to put these, so it probably wouldn't take everybody 2 hours. But that's how long it took me, because I was being very meticulous about where I wanted certain things. Because every single number corresponded to a different style of watercolor, and I wanted to keep them all together. So I took a little longer than necessary, because you could literally just take them out and shove them all in and it would take you way less time. But I know that people would criticize me for doing that. And I already know some of you will come at me for how I arranged this, but the funny thing is about having an opinion is that everyone has one. Okay, I can't seem to locate any more, so this must be all of them. I think the only thing that I didn't really like was that obviously it didn't fit. But again, this is handmade. This is probably made by laser. These are all going to be slightly different sizes. So with anything handmade and even manufactured, you'll find that things don't fit. Okay, so I've counted this a total of 1 time, and I've just counted 303 different watercolors. I may be off by a few. I have slightly more than I was supposed to. And before anyone asks, I did not put in the samples because most of the samples would not fit because they were too big, and or the other 2 that were small enough to fit inside here were in completely different packaging, and I have them separate, so it's not that. So doing a quick swatch, I'm not swatching all the colors because, you know, give me a break. I just spent 2 hours unwrapping them. Colors 1 to 179 are regular watercolors, and these are without a doubt my favorite ones. They're very pigmented. There are some others like metallic, pearlescent, 24 karat, neon, fluorescent. A lot of the more fancy paints are not super pigmented, but they're not supposed to be from what I could tell. In my opinion, these are perfect to put on top of the actual normal watercolors as a nice finish. The 24 karat gold, for example, leaves a really nice finish with the gold flakes. You have glitter in some of them, others have a bit of a tint. Even at full price, if you're paying, say, $600 for this set, there are 300 colors in here, which means you're only spending $2 per color. And that is a pretty good deal. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that that's expensive, because it's not. And this is handmade as well. And that also doesn't include the beautiful packaging that you get. Plus, I only spent around $360, which means it was only barely over $1 per color for me. So yes, at once, it seems to be very expensive, but it's actually, if you think about the amount of product that's in here, pretty reasonable, especially because it is handmade. And while the quality may not be the quality of a professional watercolor set, it's still very nice quality. And again, as someone that just isn't really a watercolor artist, I was very pleasantly surprised with this. There are some colors in here which are more toppers for other colors. They're just kind of nice finishes. Right, it's time for the art, and I want to know if you know what this is. This is something I've wanted to paint for such a long time. It's a scene that was done entirely in watercolor from a movie, and it's just my favorite style of animated movie because it's just so hands-on. The backgrounds are entirely watercolor painted, and I just think it has such a cool vibe. Also, if you recognize this washi tape from another video, you're awesome, and I'll let you know that it was actually very, very good. I was impressed. I'm using my Artistic Bearco paintbrushes, which I only just realized I'm totally out of stock on. Like, every single set is sold out. I had no idea I was that close to selling out, and I've just not been on top of ordering more, so please excuse that if you did actually want a set and they've been sold out for a few weeks. More will come. I'm not actually overly experienced as a watercolor artist. I'm kind of someone that just prefers gouache because of the way that I paint, but I really do want to do more watercolor because it's just so beautiful what some people can achieve with it, and I want to do it and get more experience. Then I just dropped several $100s on this set, so I better freaking use it. I feel like it's impossible for me to not paint like I'm using acrylic paint. These watercolors honestly are just so nice to use. Are they professional level? Probably not. Are they light fast? Again, I don't know, because unfortunately I don't have access to my time machine right this minute to see how it ages, but overall I was really surprised, really impressed that someone could do this by hand. And when you really think about how much it costs with how much you get, even at full price, it's really not expensive if you look at it based on what you get inside. It's just expensive, big upfront investment. I feel like they applied beautifully on the paper, and I've definitely used far worse watercolors in the past. Don't even talk to me about the Crayola paint from the dollar shop. Don't even bring it up. If you bring it up, I'll heart your comment. So I added a few more details. Again, painting like I'm using acrylic or gouache or something. I really loved it. I think this watercolor is really nice. I'm absolutely gonna use it again. I tried really hard to create depth with the watercolor because it was pretty much just green on green on green on green on green with trees and bushes and just different shrubbery and greenery. And I felt like I wasn't fully getting the effect that I was going for, so I decided to use my favorite pen and outline some of the areas. And I think this just helped finish it off really nicely. And this is how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I will link this watercolor set, of course, in the description down below if you want to check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think about this set as well, and if you think the watercolor is good quality. Let me know what you think about this set as well in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up too, because it really helps me out. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.